What's up, guys? Welcome to the Line Change. And in this video, we're going to recap Game 5 of the AHL Western Conference Final between the Abbotsford Canucks and the Texas Stars. And unfortunate for Abby Canuck fans, Abbotsford drops Game 5, not able to seal the deal and put Texas away to advance to the Calder Cup. Instead, the Texas Stars win it in overtime by a score of 2-1 to keep their season alive. And now Abby has one more chance to seal the deal. Tomorrow, Sunday, they are back home for Game 6, as well as Game 7, if necessary. But before we dive into our recap, I want to thank my sponsor, Gassy Jack Art. Gassy Jack Art produces hockey prints on archival paper and canvas that have been rated to last over 100 years. Their product range features a variety of players from different teams, including the Edmonton Oilers, Montreal Canadiens, the Toronto Maple Leafs, Calgary Flames, Colorado Avalanche, and your Vancouver Canucks, as well as more. They also have non-hockey related prints as well. So go ahead and check them out, gassyjackart.com. And right now they have a buy two, get two free sale going on. It's a great sale. It's, you essentially get 4 prints for the price of 2. I myself have taken advantage of this deal and am currently awaiting for more prints. So go ahead and check them out, gassyjackart.com. You're not going to regret it. And speaking of Gassy Jack Art, I don't know if you guys can see, but way up there is one of my prints right there. But let's get started on this recap. Of course, this recap is brought to you by our friends at Canucks Army, in particular Dave Hall. Who wants to win on the road anyway, am I right? The table was set for the Abbotsford Canucks to take the series and punch their ticket to their first Calder Cup finals on Friday night in Cedar Park, Texas. One more win was all it would take. It was a low-scoring affair that saw Archdeep Baines light the lamp for the first time this playoffs. Unfortunately, the Texas Stars had a different script in mind. On Friday, the desperate team dodged elimination thanks to their backup goalie, an untested backup, starting his first game of the Western Conference Finals. Yes, the Stars played spoiler, striking early in overtime to keep their postseason alive. Mercifully, the series switches back to Abbotsford, where the Canucks will have 2 stabs at advancing. Excuse me. Let's take a look at our starting lineup. The Canucks' lines mainly remained unchanged, the lone change being Sammy Blais replacing Ty Glover in his return to the lineup after a 1-game layaway. Blais lined up on the 4th line alongside Chase Waters and Dino Gambits. The big news came on the opposite end with Stars' head coach Neil Graham starting backup netminder Magnus Hellberg over Remy Poirier, whom Hellberg replaced midway through Game 4 after giving up 4 goals on just 11 shots. For the Canucks, it was Artur Silovs getting the nod. You had your first line of DiGiuseppe, Sasson, and Carlson. Your second line of Baines, Mueller, and Klimovich. Your third line of Nielsen, Kara, and Smith. And then your fourth line of Blais, Waters, and Gambits. Then you had your first D pairing, which was Breezewall and Kudratsev. Then you had Wolanin and Mancini. And then, of course, you had Hirose and Wu. And as we mentioned, Artur Silovs in net. Let's take a look at the first period. The Abbotsford Canucks kicked things off by nearly snagging the opening goal off a crash bang play at the net front. As 2 forwards stirred chaos, Akito Hirose's point shot nearly redirected past Texas's towering 6'6" netminder Hellberg. As a consolation prize, the Canucks snagged the game's first power play with Archdeep Baines drawing a hooking penalty against Artu Hiri. Unfortunately, the Canucks were unable to capitalize on the advantage. Right as the game reverted to even strength, the Canucks took a penalty of their own. If you've been keeping tabs on this Calder run, you know that this has been quite the theme for this series in particular. The team's penalty kill had been incredible heading into the series, boasting a 97.5% success rate. That efficiency has turned on its head in the series. Through 5 games, the club has allowed 4 goals on 16 opportunities, which is a 75% PK rate. Since heading to Texas, the club is 4 for 11, a lowly 63.4% PK success rate. Justin Hirakawian's 4th power play tally of the series put Abbotsford in an early hole for much of the night. Texas would score to make it 1-0. As we mentioned, Justin Hirakawian from Matej Blomel and Kyle Capobianco. Matej Blomel, the known sniper, danced towards center ice, faking a shot. Meanwhile, Justin Hirakawian slipped away from Jet Wu, taking a slide pass low with his back to the net. Hirakawian snuck a cheeky backhand past Archer Shelovs for a 1-0 Texas lead, his 2nd straight game with a goal. Moments later, with the Stars pressing, Kirill Kuchatsev made a nice defensive play from behind the net. Unfortunately, his attempt to go hard with the glass and out resulted in him getting under the puck, steering it directly out of play. The flub gave Texas a 2nd straight power play opportunity, which was less than ideal. Fortunately, the penalty kill was successful, with Shelovs steering aside 4 shots. Hoping to shift the tide, Baines darted up ice and up the middle, creating Abbotsford's best chance, only for the mammoth Hellberg to stand tall, as 6'6" goalies tend to do. There was no player in the American League more snake-bitten than Archie Baines, who had generated ample chances throughout this run for Abbotsford, only to sit as the only full-time skater without a goal. In a last-ditch effort, Danila Klimovich leaned into the swagger earned during his Game 4 overtime winner, weaving in and out of traffic with speed for a stylish chance. Unfortunately, nothing would come of it, and the Stars' power play goal would hold as a period's lone tally. Final shots in the first period were 9-9 even. Let's take a look at the second period. The middle frame began with a lot of uncertainty, as neither team could establish a solid run at a chance. Nearly 5 minutes ticked by before the first shot, a tame effort casually gloved down by Shelovs. That low attempt theme continued through the first half of the period. Things perked up midway when Victor Mancini got a bit too eager, landing an overzealous cross-check in the slot to gift the Stars their 3rd power play of the night. Shelovs and the Canucks were up to the task, keeping things well within reach for themselves. With offense looking scarcer than a Texas snowstorm, Nate Smith tried to spark something for Abbotsford, but Hellberg, the Stars' surprise netminder, kept cool, calm, and collected, making 12 stops. Smith kept at it, linking up with Blay for a sneaky give-and-go, but the puck refused to cooperate. The best chance landed late as Klimovich uncorked a point-blank shot, only to hear the frustrating ping of the iron. Most in the building assumed the shot went in, as did many of the players. It started with Christian Wallinen's solo hustle, feeding Mancini at the blue line. Mancini tossed the puck on net, and the rebound dropped to Klimovich, who couldn't outsmart the post. The Canucks finally grabbed the reins in the second half, hogging the chances late. Although it had been a relatively clean game, tempers began boiling over at the tail end of the second period. A Mancini hit lit the fuse, and scrums began popping off everywhere. First, it was Ty Mueller squaring off with Alex Petrovic. Second, Wolanin dropped the gloves with Capobianco. Refs needed a solid 10 minutes to sort the chaos, dishing out 22 minutes of penalties. It wasn't an overly exciting period or game for that matter, but the Canucks certainly took over for the second half. Although they had hit a hot goaltender, things appeared to be trending in the right direction for the Canucks. They just needed some luck. After 2 periods, the shots on goal were 18-15 in favor of Abbotsford. Let's take a look at the third period now. The Abbotsford Canucks rode their second period groove into the final frame, trying to make something happen. Jujhar Khaira got things rolling with some hard-working board work, springing Bains and Kudryavtsev on an odd-man rush. Itching to ditch his goal drought, Bains lined up a shot, only to be brushed off by Hellberg yet again. But the Canucks were given a power play and a prime opportunity to even the score. It was there that Bains ripped that monkey off his back. Abbotsford would score to tie the game 1-1. Archie Bains from Max Sasson and Artur Silovs. In the club's late opportunity with the man advantage, the Stars rushed up the ice, forcing Silovs to make a crucial save. Looking to start the odd man rush, Max Sasson brought out the Jets to rush up ice before dropping the puck to Bains, executing a silky smooth toe drag. Bains went far side on Hellberg for a beautiful finish on his slump buster. You knew one would eventually find the net after all these attempts. Silovs continued to hold his end of the bargain at the other end, making a big stop on Texas's Cameron Hughes. Credit to the passer for his unreal saucer outlet that sprang Hughes on his breakaway. Fresh off a huge game-tying goal, Bains put his team down a man in the second half, forcing Silovs and the defense to provide a massive kill. The Stars threw everything at him, even burning a timeout midway to keep their top line buzzing. Fortunately, a combination of Silovs' glove and Mancini's sprawl kept things even. Pressing late, Smith pounced on a slick heads-up pass from Blais for a one-on-one chance against Hellberg. Hellberg used all of his 6'6" frame to make a sprawling save with his left leg, his 27th of the game. That sparked a lively shift from Smith, Blais, Khaira, Mancini, and Wolanin, who peppered the net with shot attempts. Ultimately, Abbotsford could not find a goal, and the series required overtime for the third time to determine a winner. At the end of regulation, the shots were 29-24 in favor of Abbotsford. Let's take a look at overtime. The Canucks were 3-1 in overtime periods heading into this game, a stat which should have given them a smidge of confidence. Excuse me, sorry. Would they make it 4 and punch a ticket to the AHL Finals? They were certainly trying, with Khaira rifling a drop pass from Blais off of Hellberg's left pad. Side note, how about that outlet pass from rookie Kudryavtsev? Not bad. Hellberg's save proved massive as the puck went down the other way, allowing the Stars to capitalize on a greasy one to take Game 5, sending this series back to Abbotsford for Game 6. Texas would score to make it 2-1 to win the game. Curtis McKenzie from Jack Becker. Chasing down the initial rebound was Jack Becker, who connected with the Stars' captain, Curtis McKenzie, for the clutch overtime winning goal on a shot from point-blank range. Final thoughts. This low-scoring scrap had its moments. Bains finally shook his goal drought with a slick power play snipe. Silovs and the penalty kill mostly returned to form, and a late flurry of chances nearly had Abbotsford through to their first Calder Cup finals. The Texas Stars, propped up by their unflappable backup goalie Hellberg, snuck away with the overtime win to keep this series alive. The Canucks can't be too hard on themselves in this loss. They tried, held a decent shot advantage, and kept the score tight against a desperate team for as long as possible. Abbotsford were easily the better team for much of the second half. The club simply ran into a very hot goalie. If Hellberg doesn't look sharp, then the outcome of this game is likely much different. What's next? The series shifts back to Abbotsford for the final 2 games, if necessary, of the series. Game 6, puck drop, is at 6 p.m. at the Abbotsford Center. If required, Game 7 will take place the very next day on Monday, June 9th. So that's going to do it for this recap. Let me know in the comment section down below what you guys thought of this game. Did you think Abby kind of let one slip away, or do you believe it's better to have them win on home ice than it is on the road? Let me know in the comment section down below. And as always, if you guys like this video, be sure to hit that like button. And if you want to stay up to date on all your Canucks content, whether that's Vancouver Canucks or the Abbotsford Canucks, be sure to smash that subscribe button and turn on your notifications so you don't miss a single video. You can find us on social media. You can find us on Facebook. Just search The Line Change to find our Facebook page. You can find us on Instagram at The Line Change. You can find us on X at Line Change Van. You can find us on TikTok at the.line.change.po. Feel free to give us a follow on all of our social media platforms. If you prefer an audio version of this podcast, you can find us on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. On Spotify, once again, feel free to give us a follow as well as rate and review us. It is, of course, greatly appreciated. But that's going to do it for me in this video. As always, let's go Canucks, let's go Abby, and I'll see you guys in the next video.